Gonna leave his face missing. Baby, these all white. These ain't no Hirachi. Bad bitch, 50 fly.
Gun violence ripped through the city this weekend. 2 young people were killed. One, a 23-year-old woman.
On a Sunday morning in Tulsa, a young woman's life was cut short. But this wasn't an act of a random stranger. It was a choice made in a moment of fury, a choice that turned a simple argument into a double shooting. Jashari Jackson was just 23. She had a whole life ahead of her, a young son, a loving family, and dreams of becoming a medical coder. All of it came to a screeching halt in the blink of an eye. Have you ever found yourself caught in the middle of a conflict that had nothing to do with you, trying to help, only to find the situation turn against you? That's what police initially thought happened to Jashari, a peacemaker caught in the crossfire. But this isn't that simple of a story. This is about a dispute that spun out of control, a narrative about the fragile line between mediation and tragedy. It's a case with a central question. Was Jashari Jackson a victim of circumstance, or was she at the heart of the very conflict that took her life? The truth, as investigators would soon discover, lay in a series of shocking contradictions and one deadly moment that would change everything. Before we get to the answer, if you're as gripped by these real-life mysteries as I am, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps us bring more of these stories to light. Welcome to Unseen True Crime Stories, where the darkest secrets and untold cases come to light. Consider subscribing and tapping the notification bell. That way, you won't miss our next true crime story. Your support keeps these stories alive. The scene was the kind of place where the city's energy stretched into the early morning hours. An after-hours spot on East Apache Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. On Sunday, July 27, 2024, the building was humming with life. Music pulsed through the walls, mingling with the low hum of conversation and laughter. People spilled out onto the street, seeking a breath of cool night air. For most, it was just the end of a long weekend, but for one young woman, it was the final moments of a life brimming with potential. Her name was Jashari Jackson, and she was so much more than a face in the crowd. At just 23 years old, Jashari was a mother to her young son, William Murphy Johnson, 3. She was a woman with plans, enrolled at Miller Mott College with a clear goal, to become a medical coder. She was a graduate of Rogers High School, a dedicated basketball player, and a loving daughter to her parents, James and Antoinette. Her family and her boyfriend, William Johnson, too, were her world. Anyone who knew her would describe her as a fiercely loyal friend whose kindness touched everyone around her. Her life was a map of aspirations and loving connections. A young woman dedicated to building a better future for her son. But all of that promise, all of that hope, was about to collide with a storm of violence she never saw coming. What was supposed to be a night out with friends would become the final chapter in her life, a chapter that began with a single, furious argument. When Tulsa police arrived at the scene, they found chaos. Officers were told the shooting was the result of a lover's quarrel. According to Captain Richard Muhlenberg, the argument involved a complex web of current girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, and even third parties trying to intervene to get things calm.
We had quite a traumatic weekend. We've had 2 homicides, someone else shot, 2 chaotic scenes on 2 different sides of town.
Sunday was a day full of loss for both the East and North Tulsa communities. Early Sunday, 23-year-old Jashari Jackson was shot and killed here around North Yale Avenue. Police believe she was just an innocent bystander trying to break up a fight. Captain Richard Muhlenberg described what happened here at the lounge in North Tulsa as a lover's quarrel.
Emotions ran high. You had current girlfriends, you had ex-girlfriends, and you had third parties trying to intervene to get things calmed down. Unfortunately, the suspect clearly did not have control of her emotions, went and got a gun, came back, fired, killing what seems to be an innocent person right now, and the ex-girlfriend of her current girlfriend.
Tulsa police arrested Jada McGrew in connection to the shooting. In addition to killing 23-year-old Jashari Jackson, police say McGrew is also accused of shooting a 26-year-old. That individual was taken to the hospital. We don't know their name or condition at this time.
In this initial report, Jashari Jackson was cast in the role of the tragic hero, a peacemaker who stepped in to mediate a dispute that wasn't her own. She was seen as an innocent bystander, a casualty in a conflict between others. But with every new witness interview, every new detail gathered, the initial picture began to shift. The narrative of the innocent bystander started to crumble. The police report, once clear, became murky with new information that completely contradicted the first account. It wasn't a case of a kind person caught in the crossfire. It was a case of direct confrontation. Further investigation revealed that the dispute was in fact between Jashari Jackson and the suspect, Jada McGrew. As Jashari and another person began to walk away, a gun was retrieved from a nearby car. It was a calculated, deliberate act. The argument was over, the fight had ended, but the shooter wasn't done. The silence of the street was shattered by gunfire. Jashari Jackson was hit. She was killed at the scene. This case offers a powerful, yet heartbreaking, lesson. If a verbal fight is escalating, or if a partner's temper is becoming uncontrollable, that is a clear signal to leave the situation immediately. Don't stay to fix it. Your safety is more important than anyone else's anger. If you're finding this story compelling, please take a moment to hit the like button. It really helps the channel, and it lets us know you want to see more true crime stories like this. The shooter fled the scene, but police already had a name. And soon, they had another. The initial chaos gave way to an organized investigation. Detectives followed the leads from witness interviews, and it wasn't long before they had their first suspect, 18-year-old Jada McGrew. She was arrested and booked into the Tulsa County Jail on allegations of first-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon. The first suspect was in custody, but the police knew someone else was involved. They needed to find the person who helped her get away. They needed to find the accomplice. No, seriously, they needed to find the accomplice. Just over a week later, they made a second arrest. Jeremiah Hernandez, 19, was charged as an accessory to murder. Investigators believe he was the driver who took McGrew to and from the scene and may have been involved in getting rid of the murder weapon.
Put your doubts to the side, get his ass in the bed. Even if it's whack, you can still get some head. Go for it, go for it, go. Ho for it, ho for it, ho. Dude, you want that. You better go for it, ho.
As of now, the case is still in its preliminary stages, with the legal proceedings ongoing. There has been no formal verdict. This case, which began with a heated relationship dispute, highlights how quickly conflicts can turn violent. If you are in a relationship where you feel threatened, or if you know someone who is, please know there is help available. The National Domestic Violence Hotline provides confidential support and guidance 24/7. When police were identifying the suspects, they ran into a strange detail, a detail that initially confused researchers and almost sent them in the wrong direction. Did you catch it? Rewind if you missed it. Jashari Jackson wasn't just a victim. She was a life full of promise, a woman who had so much to give. Her death is more than just another news headline. It is the story of a devoted mother, a loving daughter, and an ambitious student whose future was taken from her in a moment of senseless violence. Her life reminds us that behind every statistic is a person with a family, with dreams, with a story that deserved to continue. Her story is a tragic reminder of how quickly an argument can turn deadly and the ripple effects it has on everyone involved. Be mindful of the footprints you leave behind. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this powerful message. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We want to know what you think about this case, and don't forget to subscribe to Unseen True Crime Story to ensure you don't miss our next story. Thank you for watching, for your attention, and for joining us on this journey of reflection. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe.